So last week, myself and Jacob, a friend of mine, we drove out to the mountains in Virginia and picked up this wagon. There's a number of things that make this wagon particularly unique. Jacob, why don't you come tell us a couple things about it? So, tell us a little bit of the story of how you came across this wagon specifically.
Yeah, so like most in the BMW scene, I like the E30 chassis quite a bit, and on Craigslist a cheap convertible popped up. So I drove down and went and looked at it, and it wasn't quite what I was looking for, but in the back this was parked. Caught my eye because you hardly see 5 Series wagons, E39 chassis. And I went and looked inside, and sport package on top of being a 5-speed manual. And then on top of that, it has a pretty rare stone green interior. I think this is the first one I've seen in person, at least. But yeah, I decided I probably prefer this over the E30. E30 was previously smoked in, seatbelts didn't work, radio was finicky, and had a really bad Mako paint job. So I just decided against that and rather get this.
Be a pretty cool winter sort of beater.
Yeah,
it's
nice.
not bad at all condition-wise. How many miles does it have on it?
It's got 216,000 miles. Which is quite a bit. As far as I'm aware, I believe I'm the 4th owner. His son, the guy I purchased it from, had purchased it from the original owner and kept it as a family vehicle. And as their family grew, outgrew the wagon, I guess you could say, then it became his daughter's car for college. And then after that, he had bought it from his daughter. And that's when he put the 5-speed manual transmission in out of a 528i.
It's really not bad considering all the use it's gotten.
It has definitely been used. No, other than some rock chips and a little bit of clear coat fade, it's pretty nice. It needs a better wash for sure, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, we cleaned it up a little bit. Nothing crazy. It was just a quick wash. And yeah, the car has only been owned for like a week and a half.
Yeah.
So,
it hasn't been around very long.
Yeah, it's brand new. I guess we can walk around to the business end of the car, take a look at the back, some of the quirks and features. So around back is where all the fun happens. Probably what I think is one of the coolest pieces after owning 2 Subaru Outbacks is the fact that you can pop the rear glass for hauling certain things. That's just super cool. It adds a lot to the practicality because there's a lot of things you want to carry that you can't because they are longer than the back end. Pop in the back, we get to see all the storage space back here. The seats fold down for even more. It's kind of crazy the amount of volume that you can fit in the back of this thing. You know, the normal E39 sedan, you can fit a lot in there, but this is a whole nother level of practicality. They got some equipment for hauling your dogs, this little mesh net that's kind of neat that pulls up and hooks into place. And you got your little tonneau cover to cover up your stuff so no one smashes your window and grabs your luggage, which is pretty neat. And if you're ever wondering where the toolbox is kept on a touring model, it is in a similar place to where it would be in the trunk lid. It's just in the upper deck lid here. And that folds down, and that's where all your tools are kept. So that's all back here. We'll do one quick lap around the car, and then I think we'll take it for a drive. I really like how these things sit with the sport package. What style wheels are these?
Yeah, so it's a 525i. So standard, at least on wagons, I believe it's the same for facelift sedans. You got style 81 wheels. And then you would see style 5s and style 32s on the 528i's and 540 Tourings. But yeah, I like them. I mean, it suits it.
You wanted to replace them with style 5s?
I might guess that's style 5s. I like 2-piece wheels. Basket weaves are nice.
I really like these. I think they carry the car well. They look cool in the wagon. I don't think they look very good on sedans, but they carry the visual weight of this thing well.
Yeah, they don't look good on sedans. But yeah, it's a 525i, so it has the M54 B25. About 189 horsepower new, so that's probably like 170 now. But it's plenty. It's got an automatic diff. When they did the swap, they did not swap a manual diff, so it's kind of
got some pep. More pep than it has any reason to have.
It's got a little bit. So.
All right, let's go take it for a drive. The gearing is honestly, it kind of makes this more useful as an around town sort of car, just because you can leave it in third, and still do a lot of the things that you would be doing in second.
You don't gotta drop it down as much.
Yeah. Which I think is kind of nice. It gives it a little more pep. It makes it buck a little more, but you get used to it. The clutch throw is long. I don't know if that's normal for 525s or what. It might be a lever thing where it might be adjustment, but who knows.
And then another thing too, driving this thing, there's no clutch switch.
So it just constantly thinks it's in gear.
Yeah, there's a lot of rev hang. So once I get that installed and wired up, there'll be a lot less rev hang.
As far as swaps go, it's just fine. It drives fine. You get used to it quick. And it is a really nice riding car too. Like that's what surprised us the most.
It drives a lot like your 540. It's got the sport package. Yeah. I know the geometry is different between the V8 and 6-cylinder cars, but I mean it feels pretty similar.
Get a little bit of shudder on the brakes, but I think they're wearing in.
Yeah, that was one of the things. I wouldn't say it's an issue, but one of the disclaimers when I bought it. It shudders under braking, but it's been getting not as bad.
Yeah, no, it feels much better than last time I drove.
I think it's just the pads wearing into the rotors, right? Because it's got new rotors put on it. Flashback.
Any Toyota Siennas in sight? Just enough power to ease around comfortably. I don't mind it. It's perfect. And it does feel sporty. The steering and everything, it's tight. You get a pretty good amount of feedback through it. The wheel is pretty chunky.
Yeah, M Sport wheel.
Yeah. But I kind of like it. It looks better than the big pancake in my 540. But yeah, can't go wrong for the price. It rides nice, it looks nice. It's crazy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that real quick. I walked around and I asked if he'd ever consider selling it, because at the time I was there for the E30. And he said he was thinking about listing it around $2,500. And I just don't think he quite realized the value of swapping one of these brings. Because when you take in consideration, I only think $13,000 brought over to the U.S. in total.
You talking wagons?
Wagons, yeah. So overall models, so 528, 525, and 540. And then on top of those, it's even fewer sport package cars, and then even smaller once you start talking about factory manual cars. He was asking $2,500. He was thinking about starting the Craigslist ad off around $2,500 and letting someone talk him down. So I was just like, hey, when you're ready to sell it, give me a call and I'll pay you the full $2,500. And it worked out. It was a fun drive down there. It was about 3.5 hours.
Yep. And you kept on them because there was a delay of how many months? Like 4 or 5 months?
Yeah, I think it was a 3 or 4 month time frame. It was when you were doing the Vanos on the 540.
Yeah.
It worked out. I'll probably keep this one for a while.
Yeah, with that rear end, it's up at like 2,800 RPM at 60 miles an hour, which is high, but it's not offensive in any way. I mean, it's a quiet, smooth motor. You can get away with it.
Yeah, gas mileage isn't terrible either. I think I get about 26 or 27.
Yeah,
which isn't bad.
No, that's good. That's better than what I've been doing in my E34. So,
and then ideally 6-speed.
Yeah.
And then if you want to get crazy, maybe an M54 E30. But it's good for right now. Let's see how long the original M54 lasts with 216,000 on the clock.
Someone was getting a little squirrely.
Yeah, no, geez.
This is a pretty spot. Do you think there'd be more shifting if I drove?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, you know the windy bit?
Yeah. Auto blips.
Yeah.
It's funny because it feels torquey over 2,000 RPM with that gearing.
Yeah. It might even need the Vanos rebuilt, and you might get a little more torque down low, but it's also an inline 6 car, so they don't usually build up that kind of push up until around 2,500, 3,000. The other video.
Got him.
Oh, it's self-correct. So
we'll leave that in. Excellent content.
This is what they're paying my big bucks for. Sale. Was it tinting?
Watching the camera rock around in the back.
On the bottom, on the leg, on the feet. Maybe some mid shot like right here.
So thank you, Jacob, for letting us check out your wagon today, and I do hope to shoot more videos like this in the future, so if you like this one, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.